Hi everybody, and welcome to the Best Inc. USOMS portal demo. I'm Glenn Elder. I'm the software engineering manager here at Best Inc., and I'll be walking you through the demo. So starting off with the overview, we have, we're going to hit the item master, which includes item creation, and then as a follow-up, item query, so you can see what you've created. Next, we'll be looking at the ASN module, which will include ASN creation and again, ASN query, so we can see again what we've created. After that, we'll be taking a look at the inventory module, where we will query our inventory and see what our available inventory is and some of the other statuses that you may be interested in. After that will be the inventory activity query, so you can see some breakdown on how your inventory movement is happening in our warehouse. After that, we'll take a look at the orders module. This will be order creation and then again order query, where you can see in real time your order results, what statuses they may be in, some of the details. We'll take a close look at that. Next, we'll take a look at account management. Just a quick glance so you can see some of the high-level settings you have access to update within our system and kind of make sure we have the correct contacts with our account managers. And finally, we'll take a very quick look at the portal dashboard, where you can see some of the important metrics that you may be interested in going on within the warehouse. All right, well, let's go ahead and take a look. First thing you'll notice is our portal is authenticated using an Azure login portal. Once you log in, you'll be redirected to our portal. First thing is to upload your product master to our portal. And let's go ahead and take a quick look at this file before we upload. Some things to note are the SKU. Basically all of your required fields will be in dark blue at the top of any of your upload files used within our portal. There are also a very helpful sheet after your main sheet that explains what each field's function is, as well as whether or not they're required. So very helpful when you're first onboarding and learning how to use our system. But you can input your SKUs, you can input your product UPCs, the commodity code or HS code, country of origin for where these products are created, your each level or individual level dimensions and weight. And finally, for some additional information, you can give us your carton level UPC, where basically the second packing level that may contain multiple each units, as well as that carton's dimensions. This is very helpful for our warehouse storage recording, as well as if we're going to be shipping entire cartons. That's all helpful information. And finally, in the end, a few flags that have different functionalities within the warehouse, but definitely very useful to input that information if available for each of your products. So once we've defined all the SKUs, or your item master as we call it, you can upload that to our portal. Let's go ahead and do that. And you will see a result immediately with the file that you've uploaded, as well as the products listed within that file, and whether or not we've accepted or rejected them. If they've been rejected, you should see a validation error, validation reason for why it was rejected. So moving on, let's go ahead and query for one of those items and see if it was successfully created within our system. So here you see the item that we searched for, along with the status of enabled, which means it was successfully created, which is great. We created product 01 as well as 02. We can search for that as well and see that 02 is also enabled, along with all the information that we added to our sheet. If you want to go into further detail, you can actually look into show details, where you can see all the information related to your SKU, as well as the each level information, the UPCs related to that each level, and then your carton level information, again with UPCs related to that carton. As well as a change log if either yourself or the warehouse does any updates on that item, you can see the changes that were applied to that item. All right. So next we'll move on to the ASN module, starting with ASN upload. So we'll go ahead and again, actually let's start with taking a look at the file. Okay, so here is our ASN file, much simpler. There's not a lot of information that we really require from you at the very beginning of ASN creation. You just need to let us know if this is a supplier receipt, which is your traditional replenishment of inventory in our warehouse, or a return, where again, we'll just be accepting returns. And then you need to just, it's helpful for us to know the capacity type of the ASN you're sending us. So this is not a dark blue for required, but it is definitely recommended. Now, in this file, you'll notice two ASN lines with the exact same ASN number. That is because there are two SKUs being sent within the same ASN. So you just list the SKU, you list the quantity, and that's just about it. And you need to let us know which warehouse you're sending it to. We have a California and a New Jersey warehouse. Once you do that, we'll go ahead and upload this file. Upload. All right, and as you can see, the ASN was accepted. If you look into the details of this ASN, you'll see this ASN, which I'm going to copy now, was accepted. So the next thing we want to check is the status of this ASN in the warehouse. So if we go ahead and paste the ASN in here and search for it, we can see that the status is due in. Now this is the very first status of an ASN in the warehouse. If you go ahead and take a look at the more filters section here, and you look at statuses, you can see there's actually quite a few statuses. Beginning at due in, you'll have arrived, then it will be inspecting, then we'll be receiving, then we'll be putting it away, and then finally it'll be closed. So as those statuses move through the warehouse, you can see in real time the status update here. So if you're ever interested in where your ASN is at, how soon that inventory will be available, you can always track that information from our portal here. Okay, now the next thing I'd like to show you is our inventory query. Because of course, once this ASN is done processing, eventually the inventory will become available, and that's what we're most interested in here. So let's go ahead and do a just base level inventory search, and we can see all of our inventory. This is a paginated query, as most of the queries are in our system, so you're only seeing the first 10 results here. Let's go ahead and expand that out. Let's just go ahead and get 100. And here you can see your total inventory is just the sum of all the other columns. Your available inventory is what is readily available for orders right now. Your allocated inventory is inventory that has already been allocated to active or open orders in our system. They just haven't been shipped out yet. We have quarantined inventory. This is typically for like damaged inventory. It's going to be in a quarantine section, not available for orders. We have inventory on hold. This is for inventory in question. We're in the warehouse a little bit unsure of what needs to be done with this specific chunk of inventory, and typically your account manager is working with you to determine whether this should be moved to available or quarantined. We've got our due put away inventory. This is for ASNs that are received and they're just working on the final step of putting this inventory away. So typically inventory won't sit for very long in due put away. It is going to be available very soon. And finally, we've got missing inventory. This is just inventory unaccounted for within the last cycle count. We'd like to let you know that right up front so we can determine what to do with that inventory if any is missing. And finally, one last section here. This is due in. This is kind of virtual inventory. We're unsure of the inventory that's coming. We just know that it is recorded in an ASN that is due in. This is what we're expecting to get from an open ASN. Okay, so that's it for our inventory query. Now we can move on to our inventory activity query. This is much more detailed level of your inventory movement. So this is not your real-time inventory at all. As you can see, this is actually, you see your SKU, and you see the type of activity that occurred and how much the inventory moved in any of the given sections within your system or within our system. We have, in this activity here, 110 was made available for the SKU due to an inventory consolidation event. We have production orders that would move your inventory away from available, but we do our best to relate the transaction number in the case that this may happen. You've got your order cancellations, your order creations. All of these create little inventory activities, and it's very helpful for a lot of our clients to track the movement of their inventory at this level. All right, now that's our inventory query. Let's move on to our order module. All right, for our order upload, let's take a look at our order upload file. All right, this file is much wider than our ASN. Again, we're highlighting required columns. The definitions page is very helpful here because there are a lot of little edge cases for the different types of orders we can receive, but we're gonna go ahead with this demo and just choose the most basic types of orders. So in this instance, I've created our test order 01, and I've created another 2 lines for test order 02. Now, this first line is just requesting a single SKU 1, and we're going to go ahead and ship this to Jane Doe with a fun little fake address. Now, some other required information we have is what the order type will be, what your service level will be, and what your billing type will be. Now, customer order type, this is basically just a very high level decision of if this is going to be a regular order, an FBA order, a value-added service order, which typically means we have some additional services needed for this order. It's not your standard. It may require some extra labeling or whatever it may be. And finally, a disposal order. All of these are handled slightly differently. For service level, we've got a few here. We've got your base level ground, and then you've got your expedited services, which are 3-day, second day, and next day. And then you've got a few more service levels for some special edge cases again. And finally, for your billing type, your typical billing type will be sender paid, meaning we're going to be managing shipping for you, but there are other options available upon request. Okay, let's go ahead and upload this file. Again, we have test order 01 and test order 02. Test order 02 has 2 SKUs being requested, SKU 1 and SKU 2. So let's see this go through. Okay, as you can see, 2 orders uploaded, 2 orders accepted. If we're looking at our details, you can see both orders were accepted. Let's take a look at those orders in our order query. Okay, here's order query. We have our order 01 successfully made it to due out, and order 02 also made it to due out. So as you can see, both orders, without us having to specify which warehouse we wanted it to ship from, they both dispatched to our California warehouse. That is the first important feature to note on the system, is it will intelligently attempt to select the best warehouse to ship to, and considering both of these orders were shipping to a California address, it selected California. And also you'll notice the carrier and carrier service were automatically selected for you because the billing type is sender paid and we asked for a ground level shipment. So our system, using our internal business rules, determined that FedEx ground was the most cost-effective method for shipping. And finally, you'll notice the file ID. If you ever need to look back, this is specifically for orders created within our system through the file upload. We also have an API available. In that instance, the file ID will not be set. But in instances where you are manually uploading your orders via the portal, you can query specifically for this file ID in the order upload section. And if you search for that, you will receive this result. It is this file ID for the file that we use to create the order. So if you use these files and you create like hundreds, large batches of orders, you can locate the original file that created those orders using this file ID. That's a pretty helpful feature. Now, if we want to go into one of these orders and take a look at the details, you can see all the top level information of the order is here. You can see the order number, you can see when the order was uploaded, you can even see the warehouse, the unique warehouse order number here, as well as all the shipping and fulfillment information. If you want to see the order line items, you can find that here. And this just lets you know which SKUs you ordered, how many were ordered of each. And again, we have a change log. We actually have a very helpful order edit feature. So if you decided you needed to come in here and edit the order before our pack phase, before we've gone ahead and packed the order, by that point it'll be a little too late, you can actually update some information. This is the top level information you're able to update. You can update the shipping information in case maybe the zip code is a little bit off, or you can even edit the SKUs. If account management comes back and lets you know some of the SKUs that were ordered we've found were actually damaged, we can come back in without having to cancel the order and we can actually edit the SKUs down and say only one available for this SKU. That's the best we can do. We can go ahead and update that line. You can select the SKU that you want to select. You can update the quantity to whatever value you need to update, and then you can submit that change and it will appear in your change log. All right, now these are just due out status orders. Similar to our ASNs, we have a large number of statuses for orders as they're working their way through our warehouse until it's finally shipped. So let's take a look at an already shipped order so we can see some of the additional information you might find on that shipped order. Okay, so if you look into the details of a shipped order, all the same information is still available. The item level information will expand quite a bit. You'll see the items that we were able to successfully ship. You'll see a little bit more of a more detailed breakdown of the originally requested quantity and the shipped quantity in case anything was short shipped. You can quickly see that here. And you can see a new section, which is the package and pallet section. So here this order actually shipped 3 pallets and there were 5 total packages shipped within this order. And if you wanted to see within each package which SKUs were present and how many, you're able to use this drop down to view that information as well. All right, and that is what a complete shipped order will look like. All right, so the next thing we're moving into is the account management. You can go into your account settings, and from here, you can view your top level customer profile. This mentions what country you're based out of, who your main contact would be along with their phone number, and their email address. You can actually assign multiple email addresses here if you'd like, just so you have some backup contacts. doesn't hurt to have that additional information for us. This is all very useful information for your account manager, so they know exactly how to communicate with you. And it helps you as well, because you know if you're set up in multiple warehouses, who is your account manager contact in each of those warehouses who can best assist you for issues within each warehouse. You can also sign yourself up for a specific notification. Say you'd like to get the low inventory report for a specific SKUs that you've configured for low inventory. You can go ahead and sign yourself up for that notification and save that, and going forward you will actually receive notifications for that. There are quite a few reports that we allow you to set yourself up for either notifications or reports. Reports will come out on a timer. Notifications are actually notifications sent out to you in real time when these things occur. Order settings. You can set up your IOSS number here. You can set yourself up for back order. By default, this is turned off, but these are all features that are available to you at your account settings. And finally, inventory management. You can let us know if we should be recording manufacture date, expiration dates, batch numbers. If this information is relevant, important information for you upon receiving ASNs, you can use these flags to let us know. All right, and that is it for account management. Now, the final thing I wanted to cover is just a quick overview of our dashboard. So we provide this dashboard as a quick, directly after login, you will be viewing your dashboard, and you can quickly select which warehouses, and if you select none, it will just show everything. But it will show you a lot of helpful information that you may be interested in viewing. A lot of just metrics that we've been told by our clients is helpful, and now you have it at a glance. So you can view how many open orders you currently have, along with other statuses, orders on hold, back order, error status, all that good stuff is here. Inbound receipts, this is your ASNs. You can view how many ASNs are currently we're currently waiting on, how many are in process in the warehouse right now, as well as like some helpful metrics like the top 5 SKUs we've put away within the past 3, 7, or 30-day date range. It's up to you. You also have your item and inventory view here, as well as quite a few other metrics. There are other graphs, not in this screenshot, but just the important thing to note here is we are using the information you're sending us, and we're trying our best to collect metrics that should be helpful to you at a glance, and we'll give you a little bit more insight on the kind of business you do with us. All right, so to circle back to our overview here. So the things we covered in this video are the item master, which again includes creation and query of the items that you're creating within our system. The ASN module, which includes the ASN creation and query of those ASNs that you're creating within our system. The inventory module, which is purely a query module that allows you to see real-time inventory of all the inventory in our warehouses, as well as inventory activities, which is a detailed breakdown of the inventory movement history within our warehouses. The order module, which includes the order creation and order query, so you can track those orders. And finally, the account management, which allows you to control the information that's available to our account managers, so you can provide the most relevant email addresses, phone numbers, all that good stuff, so we have quicker communication to resolve issues or help with questions that you may have. And finally, the portal dashboard, which provides a quick, at-a-glance metrics on all the inventory movement, order creation, ASN processing, all of that good stuff right there at the front page. All right, thank you for joining, and that is the end of the USOMS portal demo. Thanks again.